Imagine an object moving straight through a wall like it's not even there. This is called quantum tunneling. Before quantum mechanics came around, all we had was classical physics. Classical mechanics help us understand a lot about the position and the velocity of a particle at any given time. Classical mechanics works amazing with macroscopic objects, but as we get smaller and smaller and smaller, the physics that we know and understand starts to break down. For example, imagine a particle at space A and there is a barrier xy in the middle. Now there is empty space B on the other side. Imagine throwing this particle at the wall, xy. According to classical mechanics, there is absolutely no probability that the ball might pass through from part A to part B. This is because unless it goes over the barrier, there is no way it can pass through it. This is what our knowledge of classical mechanics has taught us. But quantum mechanics says if the particle is small enough, say an electron, and the barrier is thin enough, there is a non-zero probability that the electron might just pass through the barrier without getting over it. This phenomenon is called quantum tunneling. When we deal with small particles like electrons, we can never be sure of its position and velocity at any given time. This is why we use a probability distribution curve to study the properties of electrons. This is why strange behavior like quantum tunneling occurs at a very microscopic level. The particles we are going to use for our experiment are photons and the barrier the reflective surface. A mirror is a great example of a reflective surface, but we are going to use the barrier between water and air as a reflective surface. This boundary can act as a 100% reflective surface due to an optical phenomenon called total internal reflection. When we shine a light out of a surface at a specific critical angle, the light doesn't actually leave the surface but is completely reflected back. This is how optical fibers used in communications actually work. We can show TIR by shining a light through water. Another way to show total internal reflection is to see inside a glass of water. You can see my hand clearly now, but as I move below the surface of water, you can see my hand or my finger disappearing. This is because the boundary of water and air works like a reflective surface. So, as I hold an object, you can see it, but as I move it below the surface of water, it is no longer visible. So the water-air boundary here acts like a barrier. It's not letting any light to pass through it. So no light is passing from my finger to the other side to the camera. It completely blocks my hand here. This is because water has a higher refractive index than the air around it. So the probability of finding a photon from my finger inside the glass decreases exponentially. This is because no photons can pass the impenetrable layer or boundary between my finger and the water. So you can't see the photons coming from my fingers to the camera. But it turns out if I get the boundary of the air small enough, you can actually see my finger. So the photons can quantum tunnel through the boundary of air and get to your eyes. When I touch the glass, you cannot see my finger. This is because the tiny amount of air is still thick enough boundary for the photons to tunnel through. As I really press hard against the glass, you can actually start to see my finger. Do you see it? You can see as I tap lightly against the glass, you can't see my finger. But as I press really hard against the glass, you can actually start to see my finger. This is actually a great analog for quantum tunneling. The only way for the photons to pass through is if I get the barrier of air between my finger and the water small enough by pressing hard. So actually the photons can tunnel through it. Another way of doing it is instead of getting the boundary smaller by pressing hard, you can get your finger wet and reduce the boundary of air between the finger and the water. So instead of air between, there's water and water has a similar refractive index to the glass water, so you can easily see my finger. See? So having water reduces the boundary of air really quickly, so the photons can travel and tunnel through and get to your eyes. This happens with any object and not just your finger, and it doesn't even need to be wet if you're pushing hard enough. To show that it is not just my finger being wet that makes it visible, we'll place an optically transparent layer between my finger and the glass. If I press hard enough, you can still see my finger because the boundary of air gets small enough to allow the photons to tunnel through. See? This is a basic demonstration of quantum tunneling. Demonstrating quantum tunneling in electrons is far more difficult because electrons have a wavelength way smaller than that of photons. So you need a boundary extremely thin for electrons to phase through and observe. This usually poses a problem in the semiconductor industry. In the scale we are making modern transistors, some electrons might move from one conductor through the resistor to the other conductor by passing straight through it. Even if we have a perfect resistor, still electrons from one conductor can move through the resistor to the other conductor if the conductors are close enough. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. I hope you learned something new and exciting today. Check the description for links for more information about quantum tunneling. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.